get that feeling again as frequently as I want it.
Speaking of, control as an artist, I remember the first time that I was going to perform at the Improv, and they said, you have 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Whoo, really? Yeah. And if you go beyond that, they could, cut the mic. Okay. And you're practicing and you're like, okay, this has got to be this amount of time, and I got to cut these words, and I got to make sure I don't stress this one too long. And it's like, and performing at the Improv is amazing. It's wonderful. It was like 500 people in the audience when I did it. But I remember thinking, it was a fathers are not disposable form that I performed there. And that form would have been longer had it not had to be 3 minutes and 33 seconds, And I remember that. I was like, okay. I've never had that strict of a guideline. And it was very interesting because as an artist, it's like you want to go, or at least as a poet, you want to go until the piece is done. You know what I mean? No matter if it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds or 4 minutes and 20 seconds, however long it takes to get it done. And to have somebody stipulate a specific time, it was like, I got to create something with this deadline or this stipulation in my head. So that was a very interesting thing. And then just, I remember I was going to perform at Martini Blue. I was going to do a show there. I was really excited. It's a beautiful venue. I love the audience, love the crowd. And then the promoter said, you can't talk about race. You can't have anything too black. You can't have anything that's too erotic. You can't have anything that's political. You can't. And by the time he finished, I was almost like, what the hell are we going to talk about? And I remember coming to my artists that were excited to be on the show and saying, we can't curse. We can't. And eventually they're like, does he know that we're artists? I mean, does he even understand that we're actually creatives?
Right.
And I remember having to go back and say, as much as I want to do this, I have a lot of artists that are not going to perform.
Right.
And, we were trying to come up with a completely clean show. And eventually at the end, it didn't work. It just didn't work. And I've never, as much as I have wanted to go back in a sense that I can perform clean, to create a show where you have just these absolute parameters and you have no creative freedom, so that's the dark side of control. As a creative, we want to have control over our art. We want to have control of our artistic expression. And that may mean being political. That may mean saying that, X is wrong. I got this shirt, poetic justice, spit truth. We want to be able to spit the truth, especially as poets, to speak truth to power and to have somebody say, you can't. It's like cutting the legs off from us, and it was very difficult to want to move forward. And I was thinking about another opportunity came. People kept coming to me and saying, you have a podcast that you just started. They're running this contest. And the contest said the same thing. We want your top 5 episodes. If we like them, we'll syndicate you. We'll give you X amount of dollars. You'll get ads and sponsorships. But you can't talk about religion. You can't talk about politics. You can't have anything erotic. You can't. And eventually I was like, I don't care how much money they're offering. I don't care they're offering sponsorship. I don't care that they're doing any of this, because I don't want to, for the whole time I'm dealing with them, have to avoid 10 topics.
Right.
No matter how much that deals with people's life. And when I come on to a podcast, I want the audience to feel like we're being real. And I want it to be conversational between me and the guest. So I want them to say whatever they feel the need to say, and not for me to have to say before the show, where you can't talk about politics, and you can't talk about race, and you can't talk about religion, and you can't curse. You can't. I'm like, because I would feel stifled going on somebody's show and having this whole list of stuff I couldn't say. And I'd be sitting there thinking, what did they say I couldn't say?
Habakkuk 2:2-3 says, And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. You do what you do for yourself to prove you can do it for others. Even though the year of perfect vision needed corrective lenses, your vision was never out of focus. You remained still. You remained determined. Kobe said, the Mamba mentality is the attention to detail and the level of commitment. Run your race because you got time. Keep the momentum. Believe in your story, a creative story. Remember, never stay comfortable while trusting the process. Be innovative in your 720 hours. There will be stumbling blocks. You just keep pushing. Most importantly, what's next? Continue to drop.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.